Okay, go into a spine twist. Just lengthen through your arms, set your shoulders back and down. Now take a deep breath in through the nose, reaching through those fingers, exhale, twist. Even the hips forward, knees forward, feet forward, just twisting from the waist up. Inhale, return back to the center. And then exhale, twist the other way. Eyes follow that ribcage around. Inhale, come back through the center. Exhale, twist, lengthen through the fingers. Inhale, center. Maintaining that core connection as you rotate. Working on strengthening those upper back muscles. One more. Exhale, rotate, eyes follow. The ribcage around. Inhale, back. And exhale, twist. Inhale, center. All right, feet hip distance apart. We're just going to sit down as if you have a chair right behind you. So bring the arms up in front. Exhale, sit back, knees fall behind the toes. Inhale, come back up. Just make sure that you're keeping that chest up so it's not dropping towards the knees. Sticking the bottom out, push through the heels, squeeze the glutes as you come back to standing. And one more. And push back up using those legs. Okay, this one is the roll down push up. So we combine two movements, a roll down, which is working on mobility of the spine, with our strength move being the push up. We start nice and tall. Take a breath in at the top. This time I'll do a bent knee push up. Exhale, come all the way down. Rolling forwards, chin to chest, rounding through the shoulders, fingers reaching towards those toes. Now we walk the hands out the same way. 4 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, from here we drop the knees and then set the shoulders. Inhale, lower chest to the mat. Exhale, push back up. Now, as you walk the hands back, I want you to try and come back up onto your straight legs so that you're working the hamstrings with those 4 steps back towards the toes. On the inhale, then exhale, come back up. Stacking the spine 1 vertebra at a time, back up onto that mat. And then we exhale, tuck chin to chest, round through the shoulders. Breathing out as we peel off an imaginary wall behind us, 1 vertebra at a time, fingers fold towards the feet. Now we take 4 steps with the hands, breathing in as you do that. 2, 3, 4, into a full plank. Take a breath out. Then we inhale, lower, chest to the mat, exhale, push back up. Drop the heels down towards the floor, so you're working with long legs as you inhale, walk the hands back, 4 steps towards the feet. And then we exhale and peel all the way back up. 1 vertebra at a time. Working on mobility, coming back onto that imaginary wall, draw the shoulders back and down, open through the chest, bring the head in line with the spine. For our full plank, we're going to position the wrists under the shoulders. Start with the knees under the hips, then we'll take 1 leg out at a time. We're going to draw the shoulder blades back and down. Come up onto 1 leg, pushing back through that heel. Keep the hips facing down and draw the belly in, head in line with the spine. Push back through that other heel and push away from those wrists so you're not weight bearing too much. So just keeping those hips lifted. We don't want to stick the butt in the air. We've got that nice straight line from the head, shoulders, through the hips, knees and heels, and holding that positioning, opening through the chest, just breathing normally. Keeping that head up so we're not dropping through the shoulders. All right, in a seated position for leg pull supine. Heels in line with the buttocks, toes facing forwards. Just bring the hands right behind your butt, so the fingers are just right near your butt. Draw your shoulder blades back and down, engage the core muscles. So a little squeeze in the shoulder blades here. Now we're just going to exhale, lift up, squeeze the butt, come up into sort of a table type position, draw the shoulder blades back and down, really squeezing that butt to get that nice straight line under the body, drop the head back, and then we inhale, lower back down, let the butt touch, exhale, lift back up. Using the glutes to lift you up, drawing the shoulder blades back and down, so working the upper back, opening through the chest. Inhale down, keeping the core muscles engaged. Exhale, lift up, squeeze the shoulder blades, throw the head back, inhale, lower. Okay, you can also do this with straight legs. So lengthening through those legs, pointing the toes, hands again behind. Exhale, lift up, push away from the wrists, use your upper back muscles to help get you up into that straight line. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift up. Lift the hips up towards the ceiling, keeping them level. Inhale, lower. Point the toes, exhale, lift up, squeezing those glutes, shoulders back, inhale, lower. Okay, going into our crunches, our ab curls. So heels in line with the butt, knees are bent. We just bring the hands lightly behind the head. We don't want to be pulling on head and neck. Chin slightly tucked as if you're holding a tennis ball between chin and chest, and core muscles engaged. Exhale, lift up, just lifting the shoulder blades off the floor. Chin remains tucked, so the back of the neck is lengthened. Inhale, lower. Eyes look just towards the knees. And remember, there's no pressure on the head and neck. So we're using the abdominals to lift you up rather than any momentum. Inhale, lower, let the head rest, exhale, lift up again. Try and also keep those elbows out to the side so they're not pulling on that head and neck. Okay, to progress this one, we can bring the legs up to tabletop position, and it just takes away the legs being used to balance us, that stability. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, makes it a little harder on the core muscles. Or you can add a leg lift. So bringing those legs back down. As we lift up, we exhale, lift one knee up to tabletop, inhale, lower. That brings in the lower abdominals as well as rectus. Exhale, lift. Just the knee just sitting over the hip, inhale, lower. Still moving those legs with control, one leg at a time. Go into our hundreds now. So we've got a couple of levels for the legs. You can have your legs at tabletop position for this one. So level one is to bring the legs to tabletop. Exhale, lift head and shoulders off the mat. We're pulsing for 5 counts. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then out, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you keep pulsing. The only thing that's moving are those arms straight up and down, engaging the core muscles, ribs to hips. The next level up is to lift the legs straight up, pointing the toes, glue the knees and heels together, keep that chin slightly tucked. Or the next level is to make it a little harder, lower the legs to that 45-degree angle, and still breathing in for 5 counts, and out for 5 counts. Okay, going into our shoulder bridge now. So heels in line with the buttocks, knees bent. Just imagine you've got a ball between your knees, so you don't want the knees moving too far apart, keeping that same distance apart or drawing inwards. Set your shoulders here. We want to work on shoulder stability. So push the shoulder blades into the mat, so they just melt into that mat. Arms are nice and light by your sides. So we're going to go into the shoulder bridge where we lift straight up. Squeeze the glutes first, push the lower back into the mat, and squeezing those glutes, lift straight up. Hips, headlights on the hips shining up towards the ceiling. Arms are nice and light. Take a breath in there and then breathe out and come back down. Okay, exhale, lift up onto the shoulder blades, squeezing those glutes all the way up, don't let them drop. Inhale, hold at the top, and then exhale, come all the way back down. Good, okay, to just progress that, to make it a little harder, we can exhale, lift up into our bridge, and then go into a heel lift. So keeping the hips high, exhale, lift one heel. Keep the other one down, inhale, lower, try not to tilt the hips. Keep them level, exhale, lift the other heel. Inhale, lower, still squeezing the glutes, don't let the hips drop. And then exhaling to come all the way back down. Next level up again. So your level 3 is exhale, lift up into your bridge. Inhale, hold there. And then exhale, lift one foot off the floor. You've got to work harder through the glutes to stabilize here. Inhale, lower, just bringing that knee over the hip, keeping that knee bent. Inhale, lower, try not to keep the hips level so that they're not one onto the other. Exhale, lift straight up. Inhale, hold. Keep squeezing the glutes, lifting one leg with control so you're not rocking through the hips. Working off those shoulder blades, keeping the core muscles stable as you lift one leg then the other, and then exhale, come back down. Going into our half rollback series. So with this one, we want to position the heels in line with the buttocks, knees are bent. We bring the arms out in front, palms facing, thumbs up. We want to just set those shoulders back away from the ears, engage the core muscles and sit slightly off the sit bones. So we want to come into a C shape here through the spine. So we exhale, C shape, come halfway back, keeping the core muscles engaged. Take a breath in here. You can decide how far you go back. The further back you go, the harder it will be on your core muscles. And then just sort of scoop those abdominals. Use your abs to lift you back up so you're not getting any momentum. Inhale, lengthen at the top. Exhale, C shape. Come back down into your half roll. Inhale, hold here. Just hold the core muscles stable. Exhale, come back up. Try and keep your feet on the ground so they're not lifting. And the knees that same distance apart. C shape back. Inhale, hold. Take a breath in. And then breath out, using that out breath to bring you all the way back up. Inhaling at the top to straighten the spine. To progress on from that, we can go into our full roll back. So exhaling, C shape again. Coming all the way down slowly onto the mat, one vertebra at a time. So feel the lower back come down, middle back, upper back, shoulders step back and down. Inhale as the arms come overhead, thumbs touch if you can, and then exhale, bring the arms back first. Once they're straight up overhead, we touch into chest, slightly getting that little lift coming up into a crunch, but using your abdominals to bring it all the way back up without momentum. Exhale, C shape, coming all the way down, slowly bringing that spine down. You're not going too quickly. Lower back, middle back, upper back, keeping that chins tucked. Head down, arms come overhead. Imagine the arms are heavier than they really are, so you're not swinging them. And then exhale, bring those arms back, keeping them shoulder distance apart, tuck chin to chest. Use that out breath to scoop the abdominals and use those abs to get you all the way back up to that seated position, breathing in at the top as you lengthen through the spine. You can also do this one with straight legs, which is a little harder, pointing the toes. Bringing those hands, again, palms facing, thumbs up. It's a little bit harder with the legs. You can't use the legs quite as much, and you need to just slow it down when you're coming down onto that mat, vertebra by vertebra. Keep the core muscles engaged. Feel the shoulder blades come down, head comes down, inhale, float the arms overhead. Keep belly in. Exhale, bring the arms back first. And then tuck chin toward the chest, as if you're holding that tennis ball, and exhale, use your abdominals to scoop you all the way back up into a seated position. Inhale, hold at the top and lengthen through the crown of the head. So we want to bend the elbows, one hand on top of the other. Forehead just rests on that top hand. We keep the head down. We want to draw the shoulder blades back and down, squeezing the glutes and pulling the belly button away from the mat. Just the legs only working here, keeping them nice and long. Exhale, lift one leg. Squeeze the glute to lift that leg. Inhale, lower to the floor. Swap sides. Exhale, lift, other leg. Inhale, lower. When you're lifting the leg, make sure that you're not lifting the hip. We don't want air between the hip and the mat. And that will rotate the hips too. So the exhale, lift. It's not a high lift. Inhale, lower. Working on glute strength and that nice, smooth transition from side to side. Also important to keep the belly button pulled away from the mat as you're lifting up, so that the action just comes from the head. Going into our single leg stretch now, so set the shoulders back and down, keep the head down, bring one leg up to tabletop position, and then bring the other. You can either keep one leg there, that's your base position, and just exhale, extend one leg, and draw that knee back. Harder option is to bring both knees up to tabletop, and from here we exhale, extend that leg at a 45-degree angle, keep the other leg there, inhale, draw it back, and then change to the other side, alternating the legs. Exhale out, inhale back. So you're working with the lower abdominals, belly button below. If you'd like to work harder, the next level up is to lower that leg a little more towards the floor. Watch that neutral position, so you don't want to be creating a bigger arch in your lower back. Keep the core on, shoulders back and down, and you don't want to quite touch the floor, so just let that leg just hover just above the floor. As you exhale, extend. Inhale, return, and other side. Okay, next one is our single leg stretch with the head lifted. So bring both knees up to tabletop position. Okay, we're going to bring head and shoulders up off the mat. This time we're just going to place the hands lightly behind one knee. Exhale, extend the other leg, point the toe at that 45-degree angle, and then pump the legs. So one knee comes in, the other extends. Keep that head up, ribs to hips, chin slightly tucked as if you have a tennis ball between chin and chest, so you're not putting any excess pressure on the neck. You can start to lower the leg a little more too. Keep the core muscles engaged. Just a nice light touch behind the knee as you draw the leg in. Okay, going into our single leg stretch. This time we'll add an oblique twist. So bringing the legs back up to tabletop position, engaging those core muscles, lifting the pelvic floor at 30%. This time as you exhale, extend one leg. You're going to lift that same arm up. Think about your shoulder coming towards the knee rather than the elbow. Inhale, lower. Head comes back to the floor to rest. Exhale, lift and extend. Inhale, back. So just working on one side at a time. That other leg stays at tabletop. Keep the core muscles engaged. And you're working your obliques a little more with this one. You can also lower the leg to make it a bit harder towards the floor. Again, don't let it touch. You can have that rest between sides. And you're trying to avoid too much rocking through the hips. So for our double leg stretch, we bring the knees up to tabletop position and then bring the arms up overhead. Okay, we're going to extend the legs to a 45-degree angle, bringing the arms overhead and coming back. Exhale, extend. Bring the thumbs right to the floor if you can, and then push those legs out. If you'd like to work harder, you can lower those legs a little more towards the floor. Again, watch your lower back. Exhale away. Inhale back. Bringing that head down. Good. And then coming back to tabletop.